Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Would the sponsor yield, please?
Mr. Farrell, will you yield?
Yes, I will.
Mr. Farrell yields.
Thank you, and let me apologize. I'm losing my voice, so I'll try my best to.
Welcome to the
project.
club.
Yeah, I heard a couple of people actually losing. Denny, if I could bring you to page 833 of this bill under the Department of State section, the Office for New Americans.
Okay,
There seems to be two segments of funding there. The top segment is for, I believe, a reallocation of $6.44 million. Is that correct?
yes.
Okay, now what does that go for? What is that money spent for?
Yes, centers. Those are for centers that are around the state. Did you get that?
No, I didn't.
Centers that are around the state, there's for that.
And it says, which assist non-citizens in their attainment of citizenship. And I could read the whole thing, but I don't think I...
Yeah.
Here.
That's correct, yes.
Basically for that, for programs of non-citizens.
Yes.
And in some cases to maybe help them to become citizens, correct?
Right.
Okay. Now there's a second portion there that we've added to it underneath, and that's for $10 million,
Yes.
an additional $10 million, correct?
Yes.
And I noticed that in that explanation of what it's for, there was something put in there that was not in the top, and it says such services shall be limited to, and the very first thing is legal services. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Now, is this any part of what the governor had said was his Liberty Defense Project, or is this separate?
I don't know. I can't answer that.
Okay, okay. I believe that might be separate.
Yes.
But this goes for legal services, again, for non-citizens, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And it says, if at line 40, down to line 46, it says, notwithstanding the proposed project schedule below, funds from this appropriation shall only be available and dispersed pursuant to a plan submitted by the Secretary of the Department of State and approved by the Director of the Division of Budget. Now, when I look at the proposed project schedule below, it totals $10 million.
Yeah.
So, what is the plan? What is that for? If the schedule below already says where the money's being allocated, what is the plan?
Well, I can tell you what it's appropriated for. It's the Vera Institute of Justice. It's $4 million. Catholic Charities Community Service Archdiocese, $1 million. New York Immigration Coalition, $1 million.
Right?
Northern Manhattan Coalition for Immigrants, $1 million.
Right?
Empire Justice Center, $1 million.
Right?
Hispanic Federation, $2 million, a total of $10 million.
Right. So we've already, that schedule already says where the $10 million goes.
Yes.
So is this plan that's going to be submitted, because I haven't seen the plan, so if it's going to be submitted, is that saying exactly how those projects will spend that money? Is that what that's for?
This is going to be. Yes.
Okay, my concern there, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Speaker, on the bill?
On the bill, Mr. Murray.
My concern there is we're allocating this lump sum of $10 million basically to go for, in many of those projects that were listed there, provide legal services for non-citizens, some of which are illegal immigrants here. So we are allocating this money. The plan that's going to be submitted gets approved by the Division of the Budget, but never comes back to us. So we're basically saying here's $10 million for legal services for illegal immigrants to be spent. And in some cases, there have been stories. There was a story yesterday, Daily News, New York to set aside $10 million of state budget for immigration legal services in light of Trump's policies. And basically, it's saying that this money is going to go to help illegal immigrants fight the deportation process in some cases. So let's be straight here. What we're saying here to the taxpayers is, on the one hand, through our federal taxes, we are funding the federal government's efforts to catch the illegal immigrants or detain them and to deport them. We're then, through our state taxes, funding the effort to fight that deportation process. So we, the citizens, the taxpayers of New York State, are literally funding both sides of the fight. This is ridiculous. To make it even worse, it was this body last year, and I was proud to co-sponsor the bill, that sent a bill to the governor to fund indigent legal services and help out some of the counties across the state who are currently funding that. The governor vetoes that and says we don't have the money to pay for it. So we don't have the money to pay for indigent legal services for citizens of the state, but we have $10 million to fund legal services for illegal immigrants. I'm sorry, I can't support a bill that would do this. So in addition to the fact that I'm not thrilled that we're not quite funding maybe enough for the Suffolk County Transit bus services there, I'd like to see more money there. And then the tuition assistance program, it's really not clear how that's being spent. I mean, in that allocation, since the explanation's not here, again, we're saying here's the money, but is that going for the governor's free college plan? Is the DREAM Act in there? What's in there? We don't know. So for that reason, and especially for the reason regarding this $10 million to legal services, I will not be supporting this bill, and I urge my colleagues to consider doing the same. Thank you.